I haven't done this in a while. I'm doing my dream journal while it's fresh in my head. But I will try not to tilt the camera down so you don't have to see Asia. So, so oh, yay. Oh, okay, so I'm on this bus. Oh wait, no. Before we get to the bus, I'm living in this. It seems like it's a basement, but it's not a basement. It's like an apartment, and it's got this super long picture window on the back wall, and I got a big TV set up, and there's some stuff going on. Like, it's a nice setup, and through the blinds, I can see that a lady and her husband just moved in, and I think a kid, but I'm not sure. So, like, I walk over to the window, and she walks over to her window, and we're just talking, and she's like, "Hey, why don't you come by?" I was like, "Sure, you're right across, like, I guess a wall or a walkway or something." So I walk out, and I go across, and I'm talking to her for a minute, and she seems really nice. I don't remember what we talked about, but I remember going back to my place, and my giant big screen TV was gone, and it was replaced by this little TV, like a computer monitor TV, like that big. I was pissed. So I guess I decided it was time to move, and that's when we're on the bus. So we're on this bus, and I'm sitting towards the back, and I've got this phone, and I remember it specifically being an iPhone, but it seems so small that I can't really do anything on it. And there's like this fat girl, and I know it sounds fucked up, but there's like this really big girl, and she's got like a lot of lipstick on her face. It's like, her lips, it was just a lot. So they're like protruded out, and she's trying to talk to me, and she's like, "Yeah, so you ever been with a real woman? You ever had a BBW?" And I'm just like, "Look, my wife is a couple of rows up. I'm not interested." She's like, "Well, why is your wife all the way up there? She should be back here with you." And I'm like, "Look, I'm back here because all my stuff is back here. So I'm watching the stuff while she rides up front." And for whatever reason, I remember very distinctly that I lived on Shad D Street. And it was a really nice place. So anyway, so we're on this bus and we're leaving. And it's like the bus is dark because it's like a long trip, and you're supposed to be sleeping. And I remember trying to text somebody and couldn't like see the screen because the screen was so small. But the bus pulls over and the lights come on the bus because the bus driver has spotted a guy on the side of the road that needs help. Now, suddenly, my mother in law is there, and she leaps up and she says, "I'll do it because it's worth 20,000 points." So she gets off to help the guy. And again, Asia, who's sitting way up in the front, just kind of looks back, and I look up at her, and she gives me like the thumbs up. And I'm like, "Why are you up there knowing that this big fat Sasquatch is back here trying to talk to me? Why aren't you coming back here?" Because I couldn't leave because all our stuff was there. So we end up pulling the guy onto the bus, and my mother-in-law's on her phone, and she's trying to like make connections. And what ends up happening is she has to like give some of the points that she's gonna get away to get the guy some help. So she ends up with like 18,000 points. So we pull up into a hospital, and that's the end of that guy. So now we're waiting. We get off, and we're waiting for our apartment to be ready. And my wife and I are watching YouTube videos. And like some of them are just these crap movie trailers, but the one that I remember very distinctly was it was a young lady we used to know named Princess. She was real skinny. Oh, she's gonna open the blinds. Oh. So, and she's like this big time corporate somebody, and she's sitting behind this desk, and there's a white wall, and there's like a narrator guy in business. You're killed or be killed. And I remember thinking, like, wow, dude, this is not even in HD. Why are you doing this? So she gets up and she walks like around the table, and then we get a close up of these two pencils, and one of them seems to be like, okay, like both the pencils are white, but one of them looks like it's been peeled back, so it's still long, but other than white, it's like a weird yellow, I guess like a regular pencil. And then you cut to a dude who got stabbed by a pencil. And then we come back, and now the girl is sitting behind her desk doing some work. And the cops come in, and like the cops throw a pencil on the table, like, what's this? And then they throw the other one, and now what's this? And they throw like the pencil that's like been shaved back, but it's got blood on it. And she's like, you're not gonna get away with this. And they like arrest her. And then for some reason, like there's like this angry crowd mob screaming in the background. You don't see them, you just hear them. And then they cut to video game footage of 2K18 of just the crowd. And they're like, oh yeah, get her, she did it, she did it. And then there's this long flash of loading screens. One of them says like Rampage, and it's like it says Rampage, but it's in a dude's mouth, and Rampage is on like the grill or something. And he's like, yes, Rampage presents blah blah blah, and we just turn it off. It was like, nah, that looks stupid. It looks really stupid. And then I woke up. I don't know what that means. I don't know. But I realized that I hadn't done a dream journal in quite a while. So I wanted to grab the camera while it was fresh in my head. Weird, right?